Hi and welcome to the Arsenal Circle. Here to talk to you today about the latest fixture between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur as we beat them 2-0 at their own ground. And it's the first time the league double has been won by one of these clubs, I think, in about 8 years. First time we beat them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in about 8 years. And, you know, it's just what an achievement it is. Brilliant first half of football that we played, a brilliant game of football that we played in general, but we'll get on to all of that in a second. Let's start off and talk about the lineup now. We lined up with the same 4-3-3 that we have been lining up for the past couple of weeks now. You know, the expected players are in there. Ben White, Zinchenko as the fullbacks, maybe the two ones that you might have seen a change. Maybe not Ben White, but you might have seen Tierney instead of Zinchenko. That's the only change I could have possibly seen from this starting 11. But no, we decided to keep it, and I'm pleased we did. And yeah, just a good starting 11 for us. And I think what's crucial to note, because usually I don't talk about the other team straight away, but I think, you know, we're talking about the starting lineup. We're talking about Spurs lineup. And, you know, Antonio Conte just got it all wrong, really. Longley, Sessegnon, Sarr, all the players that he decided to bring in really didn't look to have a good... Even Doherty, right? Like, these players clearly did not have the impact that he wanted them to have. I think Sarr was there apparently to nullify Odegaard. Same thing with Sessegnon with Saka. You just didn't see that. We completely controlled the midfield. But let's start off with 14 minutes into the game. It took me 3 seconds to react to what had happened. Hugo Lloris parries the ball into his own net on accident. Saka's done brilliantly. He's ran down the wing. Cuts inside right at the edge of the line, and he's got no options. He's just got to shoot it at the goalkeeper and hope, and that's what he does. And it kind of takes a deflection, but Lloris has just tried to punch it away. It's gone into the roof of his own net, and it's just embarrassing. Really, it's really bad goalkeeping from Lloris, and that's a common theme throughout the game. Lloris has a very, very bad game, for the first. Well, to be fair, the whole first half we were all over Spurs, and I was really impressed to see how our midfield was dominant. Let's talk about it, because our midfield was incredible in the first half. Honestly, if it was just for the first half, Partey gets my man of the match, because Jesus Christ, he was incredible. Similarly with Odegaard, and Xhaka did his job as well. And it was just the way they were able to move the ball forward and get it into attacking positions for our three attackers. I think the story of the first half is just our midfield overwhelming their midfield and really getting us those 2 goals, one of which being an own goal. But then, let's move on. Let's talk about the Christian Romero incident, because he picked up a yellow card, and it was in the 35th minute. Obviously, it's a deserved yellow card. But what I wanted to talk about is the fact that throughout the match, he made some very dodgy challenges and did not get penalised once. I think he should have got a red card, to be honest, the second yellow. I can understand why he didn't, and I think a lot of Spurs fans after this match will be saying the referee was on our side. There was quite a few decisions that went our way, but none that I thought weren't deserved. I definitely think, if there should be any complaints, it should be Romero on a red, in my opinion, but that's just me. But yes, just before this, I think about the 30th minute, Jesus, Thomas Partey really could have had an absolute screamer. It's coming down from a Spurs player trying to clear it, and he just, the technique. He kind of he hits it with the side, like he's facing sideways, and I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest. How do I describe it? A shot as brilliant as what I witnessed, and he's so unfortunate not to go in. It hits the post, comes right back out. But I did think that was worth a mention. Obviously, go watch the highlights. You'll know what I'm talking about. Brilliant. But yeah, we just we saw it out until the 45th minute mark. From there, we were pushing for a third, and I think a third would have just made the rest of the game a lot easier. But we didn't need it in the end. A 2-0 win. Let's move on. So half-time, we come out, and the first 15 minutes is an onslaught. We were really, really feeling it from Spurs, and I think that was crucial that we until the 60th minute, we held off for a goal from on their end. We just stopped them, stop. And we were just defensively brilliant. And this is where I want to talk about Gabriel, because what a performance he had. He was consistently brilliant, and he's come into his own in the second half of the season here since the World Cup. for Arsenal, even before the World Cup. You know, he showed glimpses of it. Before the World Cup, it was all about Saliba. Now it's all about Gabriel. And you can really see their partnership is just brilliant. There's no well, there is weaknesses, obviously, but there's no easily exploitable weakness between these two. And similarly, I do want to mention Zinchenko and Ben White doing brilliant jobs. I mean, look at Heung-min Son's rating, 5.8. He didn't get a sniff in. Kulusevski was a bit better towards the end, but in the first half of the second half, Zinchenko got the better of him, and Zinchenko was brilliant. But yeah, just a really good performance from our back line. And then once we got to the 70th minute, it kind of, it wasn't game over because Spurs were still pushing for it, but we started to gain a bit more control, and it's a bit more of a back and forth game where the next team to score is in the driving seat to either to finish off winning the game or come back. But yeah, it became a very scrappy affair after this. Lots of missed chances and lots of moments where, I think Neville said it best. Spurs couldn't get a shot off and we couldn't clear it, and it was just I was really nervous. But there was no point where I actually thought that Spurs were definitely going to score, to be honest. But actually, there was one chance, and that was Sessegnon. I really think that he should have scored it from that range. But that leads me on to my next point, Aaron Ramsdale. Oh my gosh, FootMob have him as player of the match. I have him as player of the match. He was brilliant, man. He was fantastic throughout the match. Really just made some crucial saves, and again, I think Neville said this, it was a game of the keepers. One bad one, one brilliant one. And I think this just encapsulates what Aaron Ramsdale is and what we can see from him in the future. If he can consistently perform at this level, wow, that is a keeper that will last us a decade, right? Aaron Ramsdale tonight showed why he is such a good keeper, and I think he desperately needed this match because I think a lot of rival fans were starting to doubt him. Even Arsenal fans were saying that, he's probably our worst player in the starting 11, and that's not saying he's bad, but out of all the players, I don't think he's the worst in the starting 11. I mean, how can you say he's the worst in the starting 11 after this match? He has been brilliant throughout this match. He's really just, without him, this could have been 2-2. It really could have been. But, I don't want to disjustice the players by saying that either, because they, of course, got the 2 goals and were consistently brilliant. We definitely deserved the win, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, a lot of things happened here. A lot of it I don't really remember. It's just kind of just your standard back and forth match. Nothing really stood out. One thing I did want to mention, while Nketiah had a brilliant game, the reason his rating is so low, by the way, is just because he didn't score, man. Oh, I feel so bad for the guy because he had so many opportunities to do it. He was consistently getting in behind, getting those chances. That ball that Xhaka played to him, if he had a little bit of a better touch, that's a goal. He had a couple opportunities, and that really would have just topped off the game, Limbs in the away end, limbs everywhere, and the game still got 10 minutes to play. But no, it wasn't to be, and eventually we took him off in the 90th minute. Let's talk about the substitutes, but there's not much to say. I will, I'll put that out there. Tierney came on in the 79th minute, and I thought he was great. He really did what we intended him to do. Martinelli's on a yellow. We bring on Tierney. Tierney almost acted as a left winger, to be honest. But he looked so natural in his role. Didn't notice a difference, to be honest. Similarly with Tomiyasu, he came in and he was great. And obviously, Emil Smith-Rowe and Fabio Vieira, not much to say there. They were only on for a minute. But yeah, just huge shout out to a couple players in this match. The main players I want to highlight as the key performers is Partey, Gabriel and Ramsdale, and Odegaard as well. And then obviously, to be honest, I can name all of the players. Saka and Odegaard were a deadly duo over and over again in this match, and similarly on the other side with Martinelli and Xhaka. Just every single player played their part and was outstanding today. I was so impressed with the performance, and what a win we had. I mean, let's have a look at the XG. Spurs actually ended up. We ended up with more XG, but Spurs obviously with this many, it's just the second half. To be honest, if we look at the first half stats, we were all over them. We were the better team, and we definitely deserved to win. We defended so well in the second half, and that they're still going to get XG and shots, and that's why stats are misleading, right? But we were the better team. Let me assure you that, and we were by far deserved of this victory. I don't know, did I mention the Odegaard goal? Oh my god, I don't think I did. Let's talk about it, because what a screamer from Martin Odegaard to make it 2-0, by the way, because he's just blasted it from about 30 yards out into the, Lloris could be doing a bit better, but what a goal from Odegaard. Put some respect on this guy's name. He's really a world-class football player, and I think he is our best player. I change it every week, but I think he is our best player, and he has been, especially over the last month, of course, because he got Player of the Month, but he has been our best player over the season so far, and what a player he is. What a bargain. 30 million, I think I say it every week. 30 million, and Chelsea have just signed Mudryk for 100 million. What a waste from them. We have about an Odegaard. We got everyone we want. But, it's a bit disappointing. I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, the key points to take away: Partey, Gabriel, Ramsdale, brilliant performances. Not so brilliant from Tottenham Hotspur. They really didn't look convincing at all in this match. I didn't expect them to score at any point, apart from that one with Sessegnon. And Mikel Arteta has produced a masterclass for us to watch. We're going to win the league. We're 8 points clear of City. Say it quietly, we're going to win the league. Let me know what you thought about the match down in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Do you disagree with any of my opinions? Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.